If you shower or brush your teeth or try to make your hair look presentable, here's some good news. Dollar Shave Club has a lot of stuff to help you out. Dollar Shave Club delivers everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, toothpaste, hair gel, even a wipe that leaves your tush feeling tingly clean. All of Dollar Shave Club's products are made with top-shelf ingredients that won't break your budget. You'll feel the difference. Plus, shipping is free with your membership. And here's a great way to try a bunch of Dollar Shave Club's products for just $5. You can get their Daily Essential Starter Set. It comes with Body Cleanser, One Wipe Charlie's, their amazing butt wipes, and their world-famous shave butter. And their best razor, the 6-Blade Executive. Keep the blades coming for a few more bucks a month and add in a shampoo, toothpaste, or anything else you need. Check it all out at dollarshaveclub.com/Chad. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Chad.
Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Good morning.
Hello.
I welcome everyone to this confirmation hearing on the nomination of
Mr.
Judge
Chairman.
Brett Kavanaugh
Mr. Chairman.
to serve as Associate Justice.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to be
Supreme Court
recognized
of the
for a
United
question
States.
before we proceed.
Kamala Harris. And so it begins. Brett Kavanaugh, this evil man. This man who is full of nothing but evil in his heart, who was born. And his dad knew it, too, because he checked his hair and he saw the 6s. He's like, oh, my God. This is the devil. This is Damien. Sure, he's disguised as Judge Brett Kavanaugh, but you could tell by the 6s in his hand, he's the devil. Well, according to the left, he's got 7s in his head, and he is the second coming. Oh! I'm watching some of it. It's contentious. There's Jack Flake doing Jeff Flake things. I keep asking producer Phil, is that Jennifer Love Hewitt sitting behind Brett Kavanaugh? It's not. Kind of looks like her, though. Wouldn't that be funny? So what's going on today? Well, here's the thing. They're back now, right? So they've all had their vacations. So they've come back. And now things again in politics get back to normalcy. And there's no normalcy anymore. I mean, Trump has thrown all of that stuff up in the air. So there's none of that stuff anymore. So now they're getting back to the normal day-to-day things. But the first thing they're going to do is they're going to get Brett Kavanaugh confirmed, which is going to happen. So that tsunami of desperation that you hear in the likes of Kamala Harris's voice and Cory Booker's voice and Chris Coons' voice and all of these, that is just the inevitability of something they don't want to happen that's actually going to happen.
42,000 pages of documents that we have not had an opportunity to review or read or analyze.
You're out of order. I'll proceed.
We cannot possibly move forward, Mr. Chairman.
I
with this
extend a
hearing.
very warm welcome
We have not
to
been
Judge
given
Kavanaugh.
an opportunity.
So, Judge Kavanaugh, who is he? What is he about? Do we even know anything about him? Do we have enough documents? That's the question, right? Because it's all about documents. What they're trying to do is they want to make it seem like they've not ever had a chance to review all of this stuff, right? So they're going to have to go on. Their whole thing is, can we take this out past next month and in past the point of no return, and the elections will come and then we won't get him confirmed, and then we'll have a chance to shut down anybody, and we can then, do all of our things that we need to do. The problem is they used the nuclear option. Harry Reid, right, used the nuclear option. Mitch McConnell said, you're going to regret that. You are going to regret that. Well, they regret it now. Because now these things are just formalities. That's all they are. But my take on any of this is it doesn't matter. I mean, it's wasting taxpayer money. It's wasting our time. We know it's coming. These are just show hearings. That's all they are. They're not here to dissuade the public and give them all the knowledge they need, because you already have that in your mind. You want Brett Kavanaugh or you don't want him. None of this stuff is going to happen. So you're going to get a lot of people who are going to be grandstanding. You're going to get some of this. can't even listen to that. It's like somebody's putting a cat in a blender. Chad, that's wrong. You're such a jerk. I didn't do that. But none of this stuff is going to stop anything. Right? None of it is. Well, we don't have enough. This is what you're going to hear from the Democrats. We don't have enough. Chuck Grassley?
How ridiculous it is to say that we don't have the records that it takes to determine this person qualified to be on the Supreme Court when all the documents we have add up to more than we have had for the last 5 Supreme Court nominees.
But there's other stuff that's out there. We have all this new stuff. We have all of these things. You guys needed all of this stuff. Remember that with Elena Kagan? You remember that?
We didn't ask that Judge Kagan's records for her service with then Senator Biden be turned over during her nomination.
Oh, but no, you did. No, we didn't. We didn't. We want this. We want that. We want to know, is he funneling money for the cartels? Is he running a dogfighting ring on the weekends? Does he what does he do? Does he, we need to know. Does he kill bunnies? I mean, he's got to do something wrong. It's too perfect. It's about exciting the base. It's about being Shakespearean. It's about grandstanding and getting a soundbite on the news. It's about making sure that you rabble-rouse your base. Rabble-rouse. Get them ginned up because you've got an election coming and you're going to need money and you got to do all this. How do you do it? Hey, this guy's bad. He's awful. He's horrible. He's going to get through. If you don't want any more to get through because who knows what will happen, you better make sure you send us money so we can win these elections, and that way we can stop anything from happening in the future like this. So what do you tell everybody? You paint him as the boogeyman. Brett Kavanaugh, judge, boogeyman. You know what he's going to do to you, ladies? Come here, I'll tell you. He's going to put you back in the kitchen. Chastity belts on each and every one of you. Doesn't matter how you got pregnant, whether you wanted it or didn't want it, it doesn't matter. He's going to take that away. Your choice is going away. You can't stop it. It's going to happen. He's doing this. He is the abortion judge. He's going to have a big A on his robe for abortion. He's taking away your choice. It's already happening. Doesn't work that way. He's not going to start any of those things. He said, look, it's settled. Now, states may bring things up that may get to the courts. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. It's a possibility. But isn't it about states' rights? I mean, if you're a person who believes in states' rights, I'm a states' rights person. I don't think abortion will ever be illegal. I'm not saying that states won't challenge it. But he's not going to be the abortion judge, like a closer in baseball. Sits over there on the side. Hey, we got a property case here we're talking about. We got a free speech case that we're talking about. We've got, who knows what, eminent domain, whatever. We're talking about stuff, right? That has nothing to do with abortion. So you can't sit in on this because you're only the abortion judge. That's it. That's it. Don't even think about coming here until we're talking abortion. It's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. This is show trial stuff. That's it. This is show trial stuff that is going to get us nowhere. The right likes him, the left hates him. Shocker. Guess what? If it was the left who had this kind of power, this tsunami of inevitability, and they had a judge that was up there, guess what? The left would love him and the right would hate him, because that's what we are. We're tribal. You know what these things are supposed to be about? Are you competent and qualified to do the job of which you've been nominated? That's it. Are you competent? Do you understand the Constitution? Do you understand the rule of the law? Are you competent to do this? That's it. It's not that way anymore. It's not. And instead, it's tribalism, it's fight, it's ginning up the base. But in the end, it's going to happen.
Judge Kavanaugh, I'm proud of you. I know how good you are. I know you deserve this position. I'm proud of the president for nominating you, and frankly, I wish you the best because we're going to confirm you.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Again, the tsunami of inevitability is happening. The Democrats can't do anything, so what they're going to do is gin up the base, raise money, talk about November. The right is going to gin up the base, raise money, talk about November. And he is essentially the political football. So we have these kind of hearings where you skirt some issues but ask some questions. And it's not. And the funny thing is, and I was talking to somebody earlier, I said, it's not even about him. Right? You could put anybody. You could literally get one of those crash test dummies and put it there. It's about the soundbite. Nobody cares about his answers. Nobody does, because they've already read everything he's pretty much ever written. Well, there's lots of documents out there. There's plenty of documents. There's plenty of documents from all of these people that we never got to see. But you know what's going to happen? It's about that 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 5 minutes, that soundbite that you get that will make the local news, the CNNs, the MSNBCs, the Foxes, that will show you how brilliant you are for your base, that reestablishes you as somebody. It's your 30 seconds of fame today. That's all it is. That's exactly what it is. It's that way for you to come on here and to be like this.
What is the rush? What are we trying to hide by not having the documents out front? What is with the rush? What are we hiding by not letting those documents come out?
That's what this is. Political theater that wastes taxpayer time and money on something that is an inevitability that most people outside of the Beltway, they're not paying any attention to. They'll listen to it. They'll see a soundbite. They'll move on. It is what it is. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You could tweet at us. We're also talking today about Colin Kaepernick because of the, new ad that came out today about Kaepernick and his sacrifice. And it's the 30-year anniversary of the Just Do It. And people on both sides are, of course, talking about it. The debate is raging. And this debate is much bigger than what's going on here. This here is political. The other is Americana in a lot of ways, right? You know, because Nike is part of America. It's a brand. It's huge. It's big. And they made a statement today with this. And it's a big move.
Not the first time for Nike to do this, probably not the last, but certainly the most bold, and the one that will resonate potentially the farthest, just because it's the NFL on the same week that the NFL kicks off, and it involves the President of the United States.
Yeah. It's a lot of what's happening. How do you feel about it with the new ad? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Don't care? 17% say love it. 41% say hate it. 42% say don't care. 42%. Nike stock was down a little bit. The controversy's there. They're going to get $1 billion worth of free advertising in the coming weeks because of the debate that will rage. But like everything else, it will disappear. Come shoe time, means Christmas, that stuff, it will disappear. For some. Not for all, but for some. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. ChadBenson. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Are you PC and groupthink brainwashed? Time for a double detox shot of Chad.
Nobody told me about it, and I would have loved to have spoken to you. You know I'm very open to you. I think you've always been fair, but we'll see what happens.
Trump and Woodward on the phone. What will happen? Indeed. Now, the book is coming out, and it's salacious. When you sell something in life, you ask any good salesperson, doesn't matter what they're selling, whatever widget they're pawning off on you or selling, they want you to buy it. They're going to try to sell it to you. Because rarely, especially, it's one of those things you don't need, right? Like in you don't need another book, right? So you have to sell it to you. And what do you need? You need to sell a sizzle. You need to say, I got to have that. I don't need that. I got to have it. Totally different. You need sustenance. Right? You need shelter. You need clothes, right? I gotta have is totally different. This book is I gotta have. So what do you sell? You sell the sizzle. You ever gone to a Mexican restaurant and you're sitting there and you're, I'll get this, this, and this. And you're sitting there and then they walk by with the fajitas and they're sizzling. And you're like, oh, you know what they taste like. They don't taste any different, but it's the sizzle that you're purchasing. And this is what this book is. There is salaciousness in this, because if you were to write a book that says the White House is pretty much like every other White House, everything is kind of the same, nothing to see here, it's pretty boring, it's just the stat kind of White House with maybe some infighting like you find in every other White House, people are like, why would I buy a book like that? I don't want to buy a book like that. It's the same thing. No. You buy a book like this because it's salacious.
I'll speak to Kellyanne. I am a little surprised that she wouldn't have told me.
Yeah,
in fact, she just walked in. I'm talking to Bob Woodward. He said that he told you about speaking to me, but you never told me. Why didn't you tell me? I would have been very happy to speak to him. All right, so what are you going to do?
Well,
so I have another bad book coming out.
Another bad book. And, of course, this book is going to be salacious, and all the aides are trying to protect the national security because the president is incapable of doing so. And it's all the things that you already think it is, and they just put it in a book, and it's Bob Woodward, and because of the whole thing with Watergate, we got to believe it's all true 100%. You're selling a book. Let me tell you how this works. People that would never talk to us on an August day are already banging down our doors because they got a book to schlep. Hello, sell my book. I don't know if it's real or not. I'm sure some of it is. I'm sure there is chaos there. We already knew that. How much is there? I don't know. We'll see. But this will be here for 5 minutes, and then we're on to something new. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. We got a poll question. We're going to touch on that. It is about Kaepernick. We're going to get deeper into it in a little bit. But first, ZipRecruiter.com/Benson. Write that down. You've got a job. You need it filled. You want to expand your business, and you've got a career for somebody, but you're banging your head against the wall because you can't find the perfect hire you need. That's where ZipRecruiter comes in. First, when you join your ZipRecruiter, and by the way, free to join right now. I'm telling you right now, a gift from me to you, ZipRecruiter.com/Benson. Post your job for free today. 100 plus of the web's leading job boards. Boom. Then their matching technology. It's a powerful matching technology. They're going to scan all kinds of resumes. They're going to find the people with the perfect experience you're looking for. They're going to invite them to apply for the job. And then on top of that, the resumes that do come in, that do apply for this job, they're going to highlight the strongest candidates, so you're never going to miss a great match. 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. You want to be that person? Of course you do. ZipRecruiter is the highest rating hiring site in America. Why go anywhere else? I'm telling you this right now. Post your job for free today. ZipRecruiter.com/Benson. ZipRecruiter.com/BENSON. Post your job for free today. ZipRecruiter.com/Benson. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love hearing from you. A lot of stuff still to get to. More on Kavanaugh, what's going on there. And next we're going to look at Nike and Colin Kaepernick. Good, bad, how do you feel about it? Does it piss you off? We got a poll question up. We'll touch on that as well as the Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
This disingenuous idea that this is just, Colin Kaepernick's just trying to make a statement. He knows how disrespectful it is, and Nike's empowering it. I don't buy it. This is scummy. This is lousy. This is rotten. And I'm never buying another Nike product again. And I think millions of Americans are going to agree.
Kurt Schlichter! Never buying anything Nike ever again because Colin Kaepernick. Look, this is the way I feel about this. I'm going to throw this out there. Right? We're all entitled to our opinions. Could they have done something? Yeah. You know what? They could have. In fact, if I was them, I understand what they were trying to do. And one of the things I think they were trying to do, which is being missed here, is the fact that they're trying to appease a lot of the athletes they have. Athletes have never been more vocal. Long ago, you had a few athletes that were vocal, right? You had a few that were really, 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 really vocal. Muhammad Ali being one. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? But not like today. Today, athletes are everywhere because of Twitter, because of social media, because of all of these things. They're very vocal, far more. And you've seen that in the last, 24 months with not only the kneeling, but the fight that's gone on between public perception, the voices that they're using, and the tools at which they have that we all have nowadays with Twitter and social media and everything at our disposal and vlogs and blogs and Facebook and Instagram and all these things. So I think some of it was as much about saying to the other athletes that are part of the Nike brand, hey, we're okay with this. And look at this guy here. I have said all along, what you're seeing now in the kneeling has nothing to do with why Colin Kaepernick started it. It has all to do with the way that they feel he's been treated, the way the owners in the NFL have gone about handling this thing, and it's a pushback to them and the president as well. And I've said all along, and I maintain this, the president doesn't really care whether or not they kneel. He hates the NFL because as far as they're concerned, they screwed him in his chance to build a competing league in the USFL those many years ago. But I digress. The reality is Nike is going to take a hit right now for the publicity.
Big story of the day, obviously Nike's new ad with controversial sports star Colin Kaepernick. Now the stock is bidding down a little bit in pre-market trading. I think the traders are seeing this as, hey, you know what? Not everybody is a Colin Kaepernick fan. Maybe you see a little bit of an impact on the company's upcoming results as a lot of people just switch off to Under Armour and Adidas for the holiday season. That's the reality. I'm not saying if it's right or wrong. That is just how the market is playing this.
Yeah. I was saying today, you could have put Pat Tillman on there, a man who made a sacrifice too, right? ASU superstar, just a guy that was, all-American, who then decides after 9/11 he needs to do more for his country, leaves the NFL and a lot of money, millions of dollars on the table, and sacrifices everything and ends up paying for it with his life. You could have put him on there. You could have put them side to side. And I think it would have made a huge impact, a massive impact. And remember this, just like it is with a tweet, just like it is with all of the things we do nowadays, how something is meant means very little. How it's received by people and how they perceive it is everything. You tell a joke that everybody thinks is funny, one person perceives it to be racist or sexist, homophobic, whatever it is, that's all that matters, right? Same thing goes with this. Colin Kaepernick tried to bring, using his freedom of speech, tried to bring, for all intents and purposes, a spotlight on what he saw as an injustice. Right or wrong, that's what he did. We can debate, well, it's a workplace and all this kind of stuff. Would your work allow that? I don't know. My work doesn't really see me. I'm inside of a room by myself. You would know if I'm kneeling or sitting or whatever it was. But how it was perceived by people was he hates America. He hates the men and women who serve. That's how it was perceived. Just like a joke nowadays or a comment. It's how it's perceived by people, how it's taken by someone. I perceive this to be racist. I perceive this to be sexist. I perceive this to be a slight on the United States of America and the military. And he could come out in 1,000 ways. He says, no, it's not that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. And then it became a race thing. And don't say it didn't become a race thing, because it did. And it's frustrating. About Colin Kaepernick, I sit back. And, people burning their Nikes today. People are burning their Nikes. They have the right to boycott. I absolutely have the right. Burn your Nikes. I don't care. What I said, and I just put a little, blurb out there, video blurb. And this is what I think Nike needs to, understand. People are going to boycott. And a lot of people are boycotting. People are saying, well, you're boycotting and you're a 65-year-old white man. You're a 72-year-old woman, whatever. You're not in the wheelhouse of the demographics that we're targeting. No, probably not. But can I remind you one thing? We are the ones who pay for the shoes. We are the ones that buy grandpa and grandma buy the shoes, the T-shirts. Dad and mom buy the T-shirts, the shoes, the gloves, the bags, all of those things. Something that I think people at Nike need to understand. They knew this was going to be a nightmare for them. There was no winning in this. This was going to be a nightmare along the board. I mean, all along the board, this was going to be a nightmare. All aboard the nightmare ship that we were going to create. But we're going to get $1 billion of advertising. That's it. We're going to get $1 billion of advertising. Yes, some people are going to be pissed. But we also live in a world of what? Short attention spans. Bob Woodward's book comes out today, just like Amaurosis. It'll be hot for 5 or 10 days. Then the Kavanaugh stuff will take some of the air out of it, and then he'll eventually get confirmed, and we'll forget about it. And then somebody else will come out with a new book or a new thing will happen. And like everything else, ooh, piece of candy, we move on. Ooh, new piece of candy. Ooh, we move on. Ooh, shiny thing. I'm over there. Because we have ADD as America. American hyperactive disorder. That's what we have. Attention span of a gnat. This is what we have. The Nike thing is interesting. The fact that they went this way, again, interesting. The fact that they had him on the payroll, interesting. A lot of these things are very interesting. Plus, you've got to remember one other thing. The NFL and Kaepernick are in a legal battle. That is interesting. We're 2 days away from the kickoff of the NFL season. Again, interesting. Here's a guy who probably should be in the NFL based on talent. Maybe not a starter, but the reality is he could be in the NFL. I have no doubt about that. But your backup quarterback is like a child in the old days. To be seen, never to be heard. Standing there holding the clipboard, calling in the signs, doing all of those things. The last thing you want is more attention. Nike caused a stir. They're getting everything they want out of it. People are debating it up and down.
Listen, boycotting is one of the most American things you can do. When I put my legal hat on, I think, well, that's constitutional. Of course you can burn your Nikes, just like you can kneel during the national anthem. And I'm shocked that people don't understand the parallels there. It's fascinating to me.
No, because people don't. Once again, the perception, how they see something is how they're going to take it. Doesn't matter what it is. Does not matter what it is. Not how it was intended, how it was taken. Two different things. It was a mess from the beginning because he was out there doing something that he thought, and he made missteps. He did. You know, the socks with the pigs on it and all that. He made missteps. Absolutely. 100%. People say, well, why doesn't he do it on a Tuesday? You're not paying attention to it on Tuesday. You're not paying attention to it on a Wednesday. You're not paying attention to him ever. Well, he should protest. He's using the biggest platform he has. Right? I think we understand that. Then the players were all seeming to protest for different things, and we stood back and go, you're protesting for this, you're protesting for that, you're protesting for both of those, you're just doing it because you're in solidarity with your teammates, and it became just like everybody was doing their own thing. Now this is about the NFL, it's about the president, and it's about how Kaepernick's being, perceived and being treated, and there's a lawsuit going on. Did they collude to keep him out of the league? I don't think so. Last week, John Elway came out and kind of in as he was talking about Kaepernick and a lot of this stuff, and amongst other things he was talking about, he kind of threw out there, we offered him a contract, but he didn't take it. Well, wait a minute here. Whole thought process is he couldn't get a contract. Nobody offered him anything. Now you're saying you offered him something, which would kill their whole collusion thing. Look, if you can help a team win, and you're a hell of a player, you throw 40 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, they'll give a rat's ass. You can lay down. You could kick worm. They'll be like, we'll get over it. But this was interesting today. Absolutely. And the whole, I looked at the Pat Tillman thing and I thought to myself, You know, there's a lot of athletes out there you can look at, right? You can go back in time and look at the athletes who've sacrificed in another way. I'm not saying you throw the Kaepernick thing out of there because in many ways I think his sacrifice was he's never going to play football probably in the NFL again. That's something to think about. On the other side of things, you could have put somebody side by side like a Pat Tillman and talk about sacrifice, and you could have played them against each other in different ways, which I think would have made a stronger statement. But Nike's going to pay the price in the short term. In the long term, I think they're betting that this is going to play itself out big time. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at me, and I will talk about what you tweet about. Likes, loves, hates, dislike, you can do it. I try to make sure that I return all the tweets and talk to everybody I possibly can. MyPillow. So I slept good this week. I tend to sleep good now because of MyPillow, but the reality is for years, I'm still waiting for that moment with MyPillow where I'm like, is it just it's only the pillow. I'm telling you guys, you could sleep on a bed of nails with this thing. That's how good it is. I've had mattresses and I tried all kinds of things and I never slept. I got MyPillow and I am out like a light. I used to have like 5 or 6 pillows. I have one pillow. That's all I sleep with. And when I travel, I have my go anywhere pillow. You will not be disappointed. In fact, because if you think about your health, better night's sleep is going to energize you. It's going to make you more productive the following day. It's also going to make you healthier. You're going to lose weight because when you're tired, you're not losing weight, your energy, all that stuff. You eat more. That's what MyPillow is doing for me. It's going to do it for you. This is what they're doing right now. 4-pack. Enjoy 50% off 2 premium pillows, 2 go-anywhere pillows. That's 4 pillows, 50% off. It's simple and easy. You call 800-983-4975 or go to MyPillow.com. Use the promo code Benson. You're going to get a better night's rest with the world's most comfortable pillow. MyPillow.com, MyPillow.com, promo code Benson, or call 800-983-4975. Our poll question today is about Colin Kaepernick. How do you feel about it? Does it piss you off? Does it anger you? Does it make? I mean, what is it? What do you say in something like this? Most of you right now are saying, "Hey, you know what? I love it. I mean, I hate it." 41% of you say you hate it. 45% of you say you don't care. When I think there's a lot of that out there too. 14% of you say I love it. You can text us. You can also go to this whole online thing, this web thing. It might not be around for a while, but you can check it out. Twitter at Chad Benson Show. 323-538-2423. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Welcome to Chad. No, not the country. The institution. The Chad Benson Show.
By the way, Amazon's $1 trillion company again. So how about that? So you've got Apple and Amazon now as the $2 trillion companies. Over the weekend, I saw Bernie Sanders. Bernie gave some stump speeches, and, he just pissed off at Bezos. And it always perplexes me that we're angry with what somebody else has, right? Unless they've stolen it from you. And that's the way that the Bernies of the world perceive it. Bernie Sanders perceived that the only reason that he is where he is because he is stolen from other people. He never looks at, okay, this guy's employed a lot of people, not only, in this country, but globally. He's made everybody's lives a little bit easier. We shop a different way. He's literally changed the way that we as a people do things. I bought something today that normally you'd have to go to a store for, you'd have to do all this kind of. I was able to go and I bought it online and it was like that. It was amazing. And I loved it. It was easy. Again, he's changed so many ways. Well, nobody should have that much wealth. Who are you to say what somebody should and shouldn't have? Why are you in somebody else's lane? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. So Kaepernick, we were talking about Colin Kaepernick, and people say, his skills are eroded. His last year, and remember this with San Francisco, that's who he was the quarterback, San Francisco 49ers. He opted out of his contract. He wasn't, even if he got cut, he would have got paid. But he said, no, I'm going to try to become a free agent, and this is what's going to happen because he wanted to play. Didn't feel he was getting the respect. His last year, he threw 16 touchdowns against 4 interceptions. Pretty damn good, right? Only played 12 games, started 11. Didn't have big numbers. He's never been a big, 250, 300, 400-yard passing guy. He's not like Breeze and all of these in Brady that's dink and dump, man, his little passes. Never been that kind of guy. But when you throw 16 touchdown passes to 4 interceptions, it's pretty good. I mean, Phil, I got to be honest with you. You like the old Washington Redskins, and you got a guy in Alex Smith that throws about 2,500 to 3,000 yards and dinks and dunks and doesn't lose games. And I hate to break it to you, but that's kind of what you got. So, I mean, arguably, if you look at him compared to some other guys in the league, you could say, look, his numbers bear out. But as a backup quarterback, you don't want that. As a backup quarterback, that's not something you want, because that's going to cause controversy. And the last thing you want in this day and age, if you're a pro football team, is controversy. Cohesiveness. Again, if that 16 touchdowns was 35 and that 4 interceptions was 8 and he had 3,500 yards and he ran for 800 yards and he led his team to the playoffs, people will forgive some controversy for that, because talent, as we've talked about over and over again in life, will win out in so many ways comparatively to somebody who's not talented, right, who is just mid-level, but he comes with a lot of controversy, or she comes with a lot of controversy, and teams don't want to deal with that. Guys who are pain in the ass, but have all the talent in the world, and they can do these great things that a lot of other players can't do, even great ones, people will overlook the crap. 323-538-2423, at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Somebody said, there's a great article today. I think it was Piers Morgan who said, look, he'll kneel for the flag, but he'll bow for the dollar. That was very interesting. Another person said, hate is too strong, but I don't like it. And I do care. Nike's just using Kaepernick to sell gear. That's all. Pinch me when Nike does anything about social injustice, assuming they ever figure out what that is. If they just do anything, it will be to sell shoes. Absolutely. In a lot of ways, they will. Isn't that most companies, though? If they can court some goodwill, they may. But in the end, it's about profit. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. It's the Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
The White House is pushing back on the soon-to-be-released book by journalist Bob Woodward with a scathing statement. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders calls the book, quote, nothing more than fabricated stories, many by former disgruntled employees told to make the president look bad. Chief of Staff John Kelly also disputed the detail in the book that he called the president an idiot, saying that is not true.
What? Yes, sell the sizzle, kids. Sell the sizzle. So yet another book. Have you ever in your lifetime seen so many people, whether you like Trump or not, profit off of him? Trump is an industry in himself. News, websites. It's amazing. He has made people that were almost irrelevant, shows that were almost done and obsolete, he has made them, he's made them relevant again. Again, they haven't changed. It's just they're reporting on something that people are paying attention to. So Bob Woodward, who, look, it's one of these things where you sell the sizzle. And I tell you guys that all the time. You go to a movie. Right, and you're sitting there, and I like to get there, they used to call them trailers, but they don't, the reality is they're not trailers anymore because they're not trailing the movie. I call them next previews. So you get up there and you get to see the next previews. Next previews for the movies are going to be coming out soon. And a lot of times you'll go, oh, my God, I love that movie. It looks great. I want to go see that. Then you go there, and if you ever walked down and went, well, that was really weird. Like that thing that got me in the theater, which did its job, wasn't actually there because they're selling the sizzle. They tell the people that work at the trailer houses, hey, you know what? I got a buddy who works, he's an editor, and they'll hand you all of this film, and you'll cut up whatever you want to make it cool. You get the voice guy in there, the whole nine. You're selling the sizzle. That's what this is, right? This is the sizzle. Nobody's going to buy a book if everything's okay. Well, it's pretty average White House, pretty average staff. There's some infighting, but you get that in every White House. There's some coming and goings, but you get that in every White House. There's really nothing to see here. Nobody's buying that book. We know that there's chaos there. And I've said all along, Trump thrives in chaos. Some people like the insanity of it all. Some people like the craziness of it all. Some people like that kind of stuff. Trump enjoys it. This is Trump and Woodward actually talking on the phone, which I find to be interesting. This is actually out, and there's about 12 minutes of it, but there's a piece of it. And again, Trump knows now there's another book coming on him.
You name sources? I mean, are you naming the people or just say, people have said?
I say at 2 o'clock on this day, the following happened, and everyone who's there, including yourself, it is quoted.
There you go. Everybody who's there is quoted. We'll see. Now, he says that, Kelly says he's an idiot. It's the worst job he's ever had in his life. It's a nightmare. That he called Jeff Sessions. Now, this is his words, not mine, so don't freak out, all right? He called Jeff Sessions retarded, right? Used the R word, said he was a dumb Southerner, and all that. I mean, all of these things. And by the way, the whole Sessions thing, there's one I could be, maybe I believe that, but we don't know. That aides that work in the White House take things off of his desk because they fear for the country and the safety, and that he's incapable of telling the truth. That's even coming from his former lawyers and all of this stuff. I'm not saying all of it's a lie, but you're going to sell the sexy part of it all. Nobody wants. This is salaciousness. This isn't a book about policy and economics and foreign affairs. This isn't any of that stuff. It's about salaciousness, right? So they're going to play this thing up for days and days to come. And, oh, my God. And then something else will happen. And the Kavanaugh thing will get a little bit deeper. And we'll get into the point where we see some other shiny object and we move on for it. Remember, was it 2-3 weeks ago? Do you guys remember this? There was Omarosa. Omarosa. This is going to change everything. It's changed nothing. Not heard a tape. She's disappeared. Right? She was hot for a New York second, and then she's gone. This book will be top New York Times bestseller for a week or two, and then something else will come along, and we'll be on to something else. Speaking of something else, Kavanaugh, the proceedings are going. I was telling producer Phil, which I find to be interesting, is there's all of this drawn-out BS that goes along with this, right? So, everybody sits down, you've got everybody there, the Kamala Harrises, the Cory Bookers, the Chuck Grasslys, and the Feinsteins, and the Orrin Hatches, and they're all there. And all of them get there, he's sitting there, and they're all grandstanding for, forever, and then he gets to make his opening statement. Rather than like, hey, dude, you speak first. You get everything out. You do the thing to do. Everybody wants to have their 5 seconds of nighttime television, right? They may speak for 5 minutes, but we're only looking for that perfect bit. And it didn't take but 2 seconds for this thing to kind of go south.
Good morning.
Hello.
I welcome everyone to this confirmation hearing on the nomination of
Mr. Chairman.
Brett Kavanaugh.
Mr. Chairman.
To serve as Associate Justice.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to be recognized for a question before we proceed.
That lovely voice there is Kamala Harris, who couldn't go 2 seconds before Grassley was interrupted on this. And, of course, you have the craziness. And, by the way, his daughters were there. I don't know about you, but, Jack's getting nowhere. If I was going through something like that, no matter how exciting it is to be confirmed and all of this stuff, you know what's not going to be there? My kids. Because of the craziness of it all, right? They may even be at Disney World today. And then when the excitement is there and all of this stuff is great and we're done with this all, then maybe then you're there for the whole thing. My kids aren't anywhere near this. It just sounds awful. Like that alone makes me want to go against whatever you're doing. And they're holding up signs, a yes for Roe versus Wade, no for Kavanaugh, that kind of stuff. It's all show. That's all it is. Nothing about this is real. It isn't. It's all for a chance to get out there and to use your 5 minutes to get that perfect soundbite.
What is the rush? What are we trying to hide by not having the documents out front? What is with the rush? What are we hiding by not letting those documents come out?
Cory Booker, what is the rush? What is the rush? These documents, we need these. We don't have enough documents, right, Chuck Grassley? We don't have enough documents.
How ridiculous it is to say that we don't have the records that it takes to determine this person qualified to be on the Supreme Court when all the documents we have add up to more than we have had for the last 5 Supreme Court nominees.
Well, that's a bunch of crap. That's not enough. And let's be 100% honest. If you're a Democrat, you're going to do all you can to grandstand. You're going to gin up your base because it's about the election that's coming. It's all of these things that you've got to, right? Because what you have is a sense of foreboding. The fact is, there is a tsunami of inevitability. This is going to happen. And partly because you did this. You created a situation where you can't stop it because you exercised the nuclear option with Harry Reid, and that came back and has now bit you in the ass, and people have said so. Mitch McConnell said you will rue the day you did this. Well, now it's on you. This is it. It's over. It's done. This is coming. And when it comes to we don't have enough documents, you've got all the documents in the world. You didn't read Obamacare, for God's sakes. Before we better pass it to find out what's in it. The omnibus bill? Nobody knows what the hell's in that thing, right? We have so many of these things that we don't take time to read. Now you're going to take time to read it? Come on. This is about Roe v. Wade. This is all it is because he's the special abortion judge. It's all he gets to do. He's got a big A on his thing, right? So he's going to put the thing on. Like the whole judge robe, it's got a big A. It's a big A. That's all that's on there with a line drawn through it. It's a no abortion. And they could be talking about, search and seizure, eminent domain, any of these things they could be hearing about, right? Like workers' rights and all that. We could be. Oh, he's got to sit in the corner like a baseball player, right? Like a closer or a pinch hitter. You could only come over here when it's abortion time, and it's not abortion time. So you sit over there. It's nuts. It's nuts. And then the other side of it, he's only being appointed by Trump because of what he said and what he wrote about a sitting president being indicted and all that. It's inevitability. It's going to happen, and that's the frustration. Orrin Hatch has put it best.
Judge Kavanaugh, I'm proud of you. I know how good you are. I know you deserve this position. I'm proud of the president for nominating you, and frankly, I wish you the best because we're going to confirm you.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. And no matter how many pages you give this guy, you could go back to his first grade coloring that was on the refrigerator. They're going to want more. What did he do in the womb? It's a good question. Maybe then. It doesn't matter. This is grandstanding. It's showboating. It's all of those things. It's not about the end game because the end game is already there. Minus him running an underground dogfighting arena, he's going to get confirmed. Now it's about ginning up the base. It's about raising money and making sure you win so you can either prevent this from happening again and the president putting in somebody that you don't like, or on the other side, it's about saying, hey, look at what we've done. Make sure you keep us in power. So if there is another situation like this, we can do this again. Give us money. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love hearing from you. Car Shield. CarShield's awesome. Somebody wrote me last week and says, well, I don't know, I've read some of the reviews. I said, let me tell you something about reviews, right? It's all about your personal experience. Have a bad steak, tell 10 people. Have a good steak, tell one. Right? I've had so many people that I have known who've been in a situation where they've used CarShield and they're over the moon. They are. My friend who wanted, it was so funny, she kept saying, I'm going to cancel. I don't know if I'm going to use it. My car's only got 60,000 miles on it. And next thing you know, she takes it in. She's got she thinks a sensor. It's $1,900 and change later at the dealership. They get them paid directly. They gave her a rental car for 2 days. It is amazing. Do what I did. Save yourself from the what ifs and CYA yourselves. Get CarShield. Because what you're going to get with them is protection. Cost of cover repairs have never been easier. You get 24/7 roadside assistance, a rental car for free while your car's in the shop. You choose the shop. They get them paid directly. Call 800-CAR-6100. Mention code Benson or visit carshield.com. Use code Benson. That's going to save you 10% off the bat. That's carshield.com, code Benson, or call 800-CAR-6100. Mention code Benson. A deductible may apply. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter, ChadBenson. It's the Chad Benson Show. You feel like you're constantly adjusting your pillow to try to get it right so you don't wake up with a sore neck? I used to struggle to get comfortable. Then I found MyPillow, and it changed everything. The right pillow can make a huge difference. When you get a good night's sleep and wake up feeling refreshed, that can make the difference between a good day and a bad day. Right now, you can get the MyPillow 4-pack and enjoy 50% off. That's 2 premium pillows and 2 go-anywhere pillows. You heard that right. Get 4 MyPillows, 2 premium pillows, and 2 go-anywhere pillows at 50% off. Call 800-983-4975 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Benson. Get a better night's rest and try the world's most comfortable pillow. MyPillow.com, promo code Benson, or 800-983-4975 or visit MyPillow.com and use promo code Benson.
Take a fake news break. Check out the really important news of the day at our website, ChadBensonShow.com. Once there, click on Chad's free podcast and get real. The Chad Benson Show, where truth and the American way live. Print free.
Not the first time for Nike to do this, probably not the last, but certainly the most bold, and the one that will resonate potentially the farthest, just because it's the NFL on the same week that the NFL kicks off, and it involves the President of the United States.
Yep, Christine Brennan right there, good reporter, talking about Nike and the Kaepernick thing. And, you know, I'm getting a lot of it, this is one of those things where this is an emotion thing, right? People feel very emotional about this. People feel really, really emotional about this. And I always find it funny, because if you go to a game and you go and you see people talking during the anthem, see people eating their nachos, drinking a beer, you know, people don't stop and do the things they're supposed to do. How many of you stand up at home when the anthem is on or turn the channel because you just don't care? That's the reality. Like, you watch the anthem when it's like, oh, okay, it's the Thanksgiving Day game, and you watch that, or it's the, you know, whatever, the Super Bowl. Oh, okay, what rock star is going to be there? And you know, it is interesting in the way that they did this, and why they did this, I don't know. Is it going to cost them long term? Because, you know, for a lot of people out there, they think not only is this a big, bold move, but they're not thinking this Christmas. They're thinking super long term.
This company doesn't make short-term bets. They're probably making a bet where society at large will start thinking 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years down the line. They will look back on this Colin Kaepernick ordeal with the NFL and the Trump administration. Colin Kaepernick may ultimately be proven correct. That's what Nike is thinking about here. They're trying to get a closer connection with their consumers. Short-term, unsure. Longer-term, probably a big win for Nike.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know. Partly because of how we think about things nowadays, right? Because we change so fast, right? Because every day we found a new crazy, a new tragedy, a new triumph, we change every single day. So I don't know if long term they're going to look back at him and think he's the next, Willie Mays or the next, whatever that they think he's going to be. That I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. But you never know. Could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again because I am a human being. And I'm not going to blow smoke and say I'm always right because that's not true. But this is a gamble that Nike's willing to take. And Nike so far has gotten, I think, a lot of what they want out of it. Which is what? Publicity. The hundreds of millions and potentially billions of dollars of free publicity because of the banter back and forth, the debating and the talking about it is going to go a long way. Now, is it going to help or hurt the brand? That I don't know. That remains to be seen. But I will tell you this. Nike with Kaepernick never sold my child on anything. But Nike, because of Odell Beckham Jr., that did. He doesn't care about the controversy. He cares about the catch. Cares about the throw. Cares about what they're wearing, how they look, not the controversy. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. He's an actor still, but he had a regular job, and he got shamed for it. Why? Straight ahead, Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
I was talking to producer Phil off the air, and I'm trying to predict at what time Sunday do I get the text from Phil that says, it's always next year. You guys have an early game or late game, doesn't really matter. I'm going to get the text at some point in time. There's always next year, meaning his team is going to be beaten in the first game, and Phil has written them off. Consistency, baby. I love it. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Got a poll question up today. By the way, I love watching the protesters at the... I was telling Phil, because all the only protesters are out there it's all Roe v. Wade, right? And they might have even just got a bunch of people off Craigslist. Say, hey, were you willing to come out and scream crazy things? So... And I always tell Phil, should I say it, Phil? Should I not say it? I think I should say it. There's nothing wrong with it, right? Why is it the people who protest about the Roe v. Wade are women who really don't have to worry about it because they're probably not getting a date anyways? Chad, I'm just throwing it out there, people. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I come off that way because I kind of am a jerk. I'm just saying. It's always Roe v. Wade. That's all they're arguing. This entire, whenever we see anybody come up, whether it's Brett Kavanaugh, right, or it's Kagan, from the left, it's just Roe v. Wade. It's like do we have other laws that they need to worry about, or do we just need to have abortion judges? Maybe that should be it. Well, they could take it away. Look, it's never going to be illegal. The worst case scenario, and it may be inconvenient, right? But the worst case scenario is it becomes a states' rights issue. In a state like Oklahoma, let's just say, or Virginia, or Alabama, or whatever may say, you know what, it's going to be illegal here. Doesn't mean you can't get one. You may have to go somewhere that's inconvenient. I'm just saying. Doesn't mean you can't. Because you can. That would be the worst case scenario. Is it becomes a states' rights. And I'm all about states' rights. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. His name is Jeffrey Owens. You may not remember him. But at one time, he was on the biggest TV show of the late 80s, early 90s. And he was a cast member for more than a few years. And since has moved on to do other things, some in acting, but some not so much in acting.
He played the ever-optimistic Elvin, Cliff and Claire Huxtable's dutiful son-in-law on The Cosby Show, infamous for wearing his emotions on his sleeve. But 26 years after The Cosby Show went off the air, Jeffrey Owens is going viral. All because a woman shopping at Trader Joe's snapped photos of him working at a New Jersey grocery store. Outlets pounced, posting the pictures accompanied by headlines like, Cosby Show actor Jeffrey Owens spotted bagging groceries at New Jersey Trader Joe's.
So, he's not the actor that he once was. He's not a big star. And I'll tell you this, guys, right now. 99.9% of us, even people who are actors, will never get anywhere near the famedom that this guy had. He had a cup of coffee on the biggest show in America for several seasons, right? And now he's just living a regular life. He still acts every once in a while. He teaches acting, right? He's not starving. He's not, his life isn't a mess. But like a lot of people, whether they're in the NFL or Major League Baseball at some point in time, or the NHL or comedy or radio, a lot of times what ends up happening is it goes away. And they are never able to capture that magic. I mean, there's only a few people that can ride the bull for 8 seconds, right? Sometimes that bull wins. But you got on the bull, and a lot of people never, ever did. Jeffrey Owens did. And for that, he got shamed. Like, why are you here? Because he needs to eat? Because he needs to work? Because he needs to sustain himself? That's why he's there doing what he's doing? And the fact that people shamed him. That, to me, is just amazing.
No one should feel sorry for me, either from a positive or a negative perspective. I've had a great life. I've had a great career. And I've had a career that most actors would really, would die for. So no one has to feel sorry for me. I'm doing fine.
Yeah. And I love that attitude. Let me tell you something. He's not the first. And this, in a weird way, may be amazing for him. I was talking earlier. This reminds me of a guy by the name of Jackie Earle Haley, who is now, once again, a working star. But if you don't remember him, he was a guy who, at one time in the late 70s, was a superstar. He was on Tiger Beat. He was all of these things. He was 14 years old, 1976. He was Kelly Leak. He played opposite Tatum O'Neal in the Bad News Bears. And then he had a few movies, and then they kind of just faded out. And, he went from, like he said, B roles to C roles to no roles. He goes, I wasn't even able to make a living acting. I had to pay the bills. And pay the bills he did. Security guard, limousine driver, and at one point he delivered pizza. And somebody actually recognized him. An editor, a movie editor, recognized him. Think about that for a second. How humbling that is, right? This guy's working at Trader Joe's. He's just working his life. Somebody snaps a picture of him. It's not the most flattering thing. Kind of job shames him. Now, Jackie Earle Haley said, man, I wanted to get back into it, but it was tough. Finally, he got a role in 2006 playing a child molester in a movie, and everything changed, and it was called Little Children, and he ended up getting an Academy Award nomination, and then he was the next Freddy Krueger. He was in The Watchmen. He's been in a lot of different things, and his life is changed again, but he, too, had to get a regular job. He, too, had to go out and do something. I saw Terry Crews over the weekend. He, former NFL player. Now he's an actor. Right? And he's super talented. I love Terry Crews. But he said, look, after the NFL, I had to sweep floors. I had to have a job. We think because we hear him, sing a song, or we see him on television, that somehow they're all of this, they have all this money off that thing. You'd be surprised what they get paid for certain things. You will. This guy had to do it. And to be shamed for it, I found to be ridiculous. But it was so weird the way that some people did attack him. And that goes back again to this day and age that we live in, because we've given everybody a voice. Doesn't mean we want to hear their voice. Doesn't mean what they're going to say is going to be good. And I think what we're finding out is a lot of people are just negative in life.
I mean, I was really devastated, but it lasted. It was the period of devastation was so short, because so shortly after that, the responses. My wife and I started to read these responses from like literally all over the world of support.
Yeah, other stars came out, and they started, going out and supporting him and saying, "Hey, this is ridiculous." It's nuts. And growing up in L.A., as I did, I have some friends who, yes, at one time they were kind of big stars as kids. Some were big stars through their early adulthood, one of which, a friend of mine, he took his own life. But he was on a major show. And he did okay because of the residuals. I've always said that I feel bad for the Cosby kids and everybody else involved with that show, because once Cosby did what he did and everything, the it hit the fan, if you will, there was, we're never going to get the residuals or see the opportunity to do stuff like this. But, I mean, he's not the first, right? Dana Plato, she fell out of her craziness. Aaron Moran. A lot of these people, they got to earn a living somehow. But we think that they're all of this craziness about it. I will tell you this. I think, for all intents and purposes, as does he, this in some ways is going to help him.
I actually wouldn't feel comfortable someone giving me a job because this happened. I want to get a job because I'm the right person for that
on
job.
Merit. On
yes,
merit,
exactly.
Right.
So, but there's all kinds of interest now because of this. So that's nice.
Yeah, the job shaming ends up helping him, and I think that's cool. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You can tweet at us. Love hearing from you. It is a day of craziness, as you expect on Capitol Hill. It's a barrage of lunacy and wackiness, and people saying we need this and we need that, and this whole nomination is going to be blah, 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 blah. And there's Judge Kavanaugh just trying to stick through it because he's in the middle of Shakespearean political theater that has no bearing on whether or not he's capable of doing the job, because they're not worried about that. They're about having their 5 minutes of fame, getting their sound bites everywhere. The reality is the tsunami, as I've been saying, of inevitability is coming. He's going to get confirmed, and we finally got to kind of hear from him.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Senator Feinstein and members of the committee. I'm honored to be here today with my family.
Yeah, which I wouldn't have brought, by the way. There's no way I'm bringing my family to that. Like, I always thought, if I'm a pro boxer, and this is boxing in many ways for politics, I'm not bringing I don't want my wife and kids or my mom and dad. I don't want them there, right? Like, because you're going to worry about stuff like that. But this guy is going to be grilled, and this has not. Remember these hearings. Right, so you're a judge. You're a sitting judge. Kavanaugh's a sitting judge. It's not like he just woke up one day and said, "I'm a judge." Right? And like, what? Right? I'm a judge. Do you know anything about the law? Nope. Anything about the Constitution? Nope. Right? I think one of the things in the Constitution is that thou shalt not kill and gluttony and no, it's not like that. This guy is a respected judge, and these hearings are supposed to be about, do you have the capabilities to perform what you were nominated here for today? Do you have the understanding of both law and the Constitution to sit on the highest court in the land as part of one of the co-equal branches of government? Do you have the wherewithal, the understanding, and the capabilities of handling this job for which you were nominated? That's what this should be about, but it's not. This is a way for them to grandstand, to gin up the base, to raise money, and to, yes, talk about the midterms.
People see through this. You had a chance, and you lost. If you want to pick judges from your way of thinking, then you better win an election.
There you go, Lindsey Graham. For Lindsey, again, he's been on point the last couple weeks. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Oh, kids, a good night's sleep. Let's talk about thine good night's sleep. I've had more good night's sleeps than I can remember. Thank you, MyPillow. Like, that's the only thing I can say. Thank you, MyPillow. It doesn't even go far enough. I sleep like I've never slept before. And if you listen to the show long enough to know, I would talk about the fact that some nights I would get 2 hours of sleep. Some nights I would get no sleep whatsoever. I toss and turn, and I'd have a few good naps here and there. But outside of that, I didn't sleep. I got a MyPillow. I was skeptical. I am skeptical no more. It is incredible how well I sleep. I feel refreshed. I feel energized. It is amazing. And for those of you guys who don't realize that when you don't get a good night's sleep, it's not good for you heart health. It's not good for you in weight because you're tired. All kinds of things are happening with your metabolism. It's not good for your productivity. MyPillow is going to help with all of that. Right now, here's what they're doing. Just for my listeners, 4-pack, enjoy 50% off, 2 premium pillows, 2 go-anywhere pillows. That's 4 pillows, 1, 2, 3, 4, just for you, 50% off. Are you ready for that? Can you handle that? Call today, 800-983-4975. Go to MyPillow.com. Use the promo code Benson. You're going to get a better night's rest. It is the world's most comfortable pillow. You're going to love it. MyPillow.com, promo code Benson, or 800-983-4975. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter, ChadBenson. We'll talk about our poll question about Colin Kaepernick. Plus, that's a big gator. Oh, Florida. Gotta love Florida. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Feel free to punk this punk rocker any time of the day or night. Reach Chad on Twitter at Chad Benson Show and on Instagram at Chad Benson Show. And oh yeah, the Chad Benson Show on Facebook too. Punk that.
At this point in our country, no one should be on the sidelines. It's just too important. And so when I'm buying something, I do want to know what the position is of the corporation. I want to know that you're being a good corporate citizen, that your values are in line with my values. And I'm going to go out and buy more Nikes. I mean, because I understand their position and I understand Colin Kaepernick's position.
Oh, Sunny Sound there. She is a lawyer and talking about Kaepernick, which, of course, is one of the big topics of the day. That's talking about the coffee cooler wine thingy that everybody's, what are you doing, Kaepernick? People are talking about it. Somebody tweets in, "Dear at Nike, since I'm now forced to purchase your products due to the shared views, please make a wide-toe shoe option. Prior to your cap campaign, I didn't wear your shoes as they are too narrow for my turf toe, but now I'm buying Nike because I'm with Cap." There you go. Some people like him. Some people love him. That's the reality of it. Some people just don't care. Like Jack loves Nike. But not because of Kaepernick, not because of a stance that anybody takes. Jack likes Nike because of Odell Beckham Jr. Jack likes Nike because of, he also likes Under Armour because of who? Yes, Steph Curry. Those things matter to a kid, to a lot of people. It's about the look. I was telling producer Anthony earlier today, when I was a kid growing up, it mattered to me. Man, if our uniforms sucked, how horrible was that? If everybody who's played sports has had great uniforms and crappy uniforms. And in your mind, you're like, oh, it's about a look. It is. And it's about a brand. And for what, I don't think what everybody understands is the brand in a lot of ways, it's the player that is the brand more so than even the stuff. How's the player look wearing your stuff matters more than whether or not your stuff works. How do you feel about it? That's the question today. So how do you feel about Colin Kaepernick and the new Nike ad celebrating 30 years of Just Do It? 13% say, I love it. 44% say hate it. 43% say, I don't care. And it's not that I think for a lot of people to say don't care. It's that I just think it's so over. We overdo everything, right? And people run out and they burn their Nikes and they do this and do that. And I just sit back and I say, look, it did everything it wanted to do. It evoked emotion. And they knew no matter what they were doing here, it was going to evoke emotion. Kind of like what's going on right now with Kavanaugh. What is he doing? He's evoking emotion from people. People are freaking out. People are running around there. Oh, my God, it's evoking emotion, which is what they want to do. They want to evoke emotion, which will get you to the polls, which will get you to send money, which will get you to campaign. That's what it's about. It's about painting this guy as Damien from The Omen, and that somehow they found the 666 on his head, and only the Republicans are too stupid to know it's there. So they create a monster. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Love hearing from you. Try to get back to everybody as best that I possibly can, but I am only one person. So bear with me. It is the Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent in thought and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Good morning.
Hello.
I welcome everyone to this confirmation hearing on the nomination of
Mr. Chairman.
Brett Kavanaugh
Mr. Chairman.
to serve as Associate Justice.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to be recognized for a question before we proceed.
Kamala Harris. And so it begins. Brett Kavanaugh, this evil man, this man who is full of nothing but evil in his heart, who was born. And his dad knew it, too, because he checked his hair and he saw the sixes. He's like, oh, my God. This is the devil. This is Damien. Sure, he's disguised as Judge Brett Kavanaugh, but you could tell by the sixes in his hand, he's the devil. Well, according to the left, he's got sevens in his head, and he is the second coming. Oh! I'm watching some of it. It's contentious. There's Jeff Flake doing Jeff Flake things. I keep asking producer Phil, is that Jennifer Love Hewitt sitting behind Brett Kavanaugh? It's not. Kind of looks like her, though. Wouldn't that be funny? So what's going on today? Well, here's the thing. They're back now, right? So they've all had their vacations. So they've come back. And now things again in politics get back to normalcy. And there's no normalcy anymore. I mean, Trump has thrown all of that stuff up in the air. So there's none of that stuff anymore. So now they're getting back to the normal day-to-day things. But the first thing they're going to do is they're going to get Brett Kavanaugh confirmed, which is going to happen. So that tsunami of desperation that you hear in the likes of Kamala Harris's voice and Cory Booker's voice and Chris Coons' voice and all of these, that is just the inevitability of something they don't want to happen that's actually going to happen.
42,000 pages of documents that we have not had an opportunity to review or read or analyze.
You're out of order. I'll proceed.
We cannot possibly move forward, Mr. Chairman.
I extend a very warm welcome
we have not
to
been
Judge
given
Kavanaugh.
an opportunity.
So, Judge Kavanaugh, who is he? What is he about? Do we even know anything about him? Do we have enough documents? That's the question, right? Because it's all about documents. What they're trying to do is they want to make it seem like they've not ever had a chance to review all of this stuff, right? So they're going to have to go on. The whole thing is, can we take this out past next month and in past the point of no return, and the elections will come and then we won't get him confirmed, and then we'll have a chance to shut down anybody, and we can then, do all of our things that we need to do. The problem is they used the nuclear option. Harry Reid, right, used the nuclear option. Mitch McConnell said, you're going to regret that. You are going to regret that. Well, they regret it now. Because now these things are just formalities. That's all they are. But my take on any of this is it doesn't matter. I mean, it's wasting taxpayer money. It's wasting our time. We know it's coming. These are just show hearings. That's all they are. They're not here to dissuade the public and give them all the knowledge they need, because you already have that in your mind. You want Brett Kavanaugh or you don't want him. None of this stuff is going to happen. So you're going to get a lot of people who are going to be grandstanding. You're going to get some of this. I can't even listen to that. It's like somebody's putting a cat in a blender. Chad, that's wrong. You're such a jerk. I didn't do that. But none of this stuff is going to stop anything. Right? None of it is. Well, we don't have enough. This is what you're going to hear from the Democrats. We don't have enough. Chuck Grassley?
How ridiculous it is to say that we don't have the records that it takes to determine this person qualified to be on the Supreme Court when all the documents we have add up to more than we have had for the last 5 Supreme Court nominees.
But there's other stuff that's out there. We have all this new stuff. We have all of these things. You guys needed all of this stuff. Remember that with Elena Kagan? You remember that?
We didn't ask that Judge Kagan's records for her service with then Senator Biden be turned over during her nomination.
Oh, but no, you did. No, we didn't. We didn't. We didn't. We want this. We want that. We want to know, is he funneling money for the cartels? Is he running a dogfighting ring on the weekends? Does he what does he do? Does he, we need to know. Does he kill bunnies? He's got to do something wrong. It's too perfect. It's about exciting the base. It's about being Shakespearean. It's about grandstanding and getting a soundbite on the news. It's about making sure that you rabble-rouse your base. Rabble-rouse. Get them ginned up because you've got an election coming and you're going to need money and you got to do all this. How do you do it? Hey, this guy's bad. He's awful. He's horrible. He's going to get through. If you don't want any more to get through because who knows what will happen, you better make sure you send us money so we can win these elections, and that way we can stop anything from happening in the future like this. So what do you tell everybody? You paint him as the boogeyman. Brett Kavanaugh, judge, boogeyman. You know what he's going to do to you, ladies? Come here, I'll tell you. He's going to put you back in the kitchen. Chastity belts on each and every one of you. Doesn't matter how you got pregnant, whether you wanted it or didn't want it, it doesn't matter. He's going to take that away. Your choice is going away. You can't stop it. It's going to happen. He's doing this. He is the abortion judge. He's going to have a big A on his robe for abortion. He's taking away your choice. It's already happening. Doesn't work that way. He's not going to start any of those things. He said, look, it's settled. Now, states may bring things up that may get to the courts. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. It's a possibility. But isn't it about states' rights? If you're a person who believes in states' rights, I'm a states' rights person. I don't think abortion will ever be illegal. I'm not saying that states won't challenge it. But he's not going to be the abortion judge, like a closer in baseball. Sits over there on the side. Hey, we got a property case here we're talking about. We got a free speech case that we're talking about. We've got, who knows what, eminent domain, whatever. We're talking about stuff, right? That has nothing to do with abortion. So you can't sit in on this because you're only the abortion judge. That's it. That's it. Don't even think about coming here until we're talking abortion. It's not the way it works. It's not the way it works. This is show trial stuff. That's it. This is show trial stuff that is going to get us nowhere. The right likes him, the left hates him. Shocker. Guess what? If it was the left who had this kind of power, this tsunami of inevitability, and they had a judge that was up there, guess what? The left would love him and the right would hate him, because that's what we are. We're tribal. You know what these things are supposed to be about? Are you competent and qualified to do the job of which you've been nominated? That's it. Are you competent? Do you understand the Constitution? Do you understand the rule of the law? Are you competent to do this? That's it. It's not that way anymore. It's not. And instead, it's tribalism, it's fight, it's ginning up the base. But in the end, it's going to happen.
Judge Kavanaugh, I'm proud of you. I know how good you are. I know you deserve this position. I'm proud of the president for nominating you, and frankly, I wish you the best because we're going to confirm you.
Yeah, it's going to happen. Again, the tsunami of inevitability is happening. The Democrats can't do anything, so what they're going to do is gin up the base, raise money, talk about November. The right is going to gin up the base, raise money, talk about November. And he is essentially the political football. So we have these kind of hearings where you skirt some issues but ask some questions. And it's not, and the funny thing is, and I was talking to somebody earlier, I said, it's not even about him. Right? You could put anybody. You could literally get one of those crash test dummies and put it there. It's about the soundbite. Nobody cares about his answers. Nobody does, because they've already read everything he's pretty much ever written. Well, there's lots of documents out there. There's plenty of documents. There's plenty of documents from all of these people that we never got to see. But you know what's going to happen? It's about that 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 5 minutes, that soundbite that you get that will make the local news, the CNNs, the MSNBCs, the Foxes, that will show you how brilliant you are for your base, that reestablishes you as somebody. It's your 30 seconds of fame today. That's all it is. That's exactly what it is. It's that way for you to come on here and to be like this.
What is the rush? What are we trying to hide by not having the documents out front? What is with the rush? What are we hiding by not letting those documents come out?
That's what this is. Political theater that wastes taxpayer time and money on something that is an inevitability that most people outside of the Beltway, they're not paying any attention to. They'll listen to it. They'll see a soundbite. They'll move on. It is what it is. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. You could tweet at us. We're also talking today about Colin Kaepernick because of the, new ad that came out today about Kaepernick and his sacrifice. And it's the 30-year anniversary of the Just Do It. And people on both sides are, of course, talking about it. The debate is raging. And this debate is much bigger than what's going on here. This here is political. The other is Americana in a lot of ways, right? You know, because Nike is part of America. It's a brand. It's huge. It's big. And they made a statement today with this. And it's a big move.
Not the first time for Nike to do this, probably not the last, but certainly the most bold and the one that will resonate potentially the farthest, just because it's the NFL on the same week that the NFL kicks off, and it involves the President of the United States.
Yeah. It's a lot of what's happening. How do you feel about it with the new ad? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Don't care? 17% say love it. 41% say hate it. 42% say don't care. 42%. Nike stock was down a little bit. The controversy's there. They're going to get $1 billion worth of free advertising in the coming weeks because of the debate that will rage. But like everything else, it will disappear come shoe time, means Christmas, that stuff. It will disappear for some, not for all, but for some. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. AMAC is amazing. Speaking of something, you know, we live in a world of that person doesn't share my belief. So I'm over here doing my thing. ARP doesn't represent me. I'm over here doing my thing, but I don't have anywhere to go. Well, you do. AMAC is where you go. AMAC is incredible. So if you're 50 and over and you're looking around, you're saying to yourself, hey, I need somebody that kind of represents what I want. I want common sense immigration reform that's going to advocate for me on Medicare reform, overturning Obamacare, doing these kind of things, and kind of being a voice for what I believe. That's what AMAC's about. But on top of that, I'd like to have a company, you look at ARP and say, oh, well, look what they do as well. Well, guess what? AMAC does that and then some when it comes to the benefits of being a member. How about this? 40% off movie tickets, supplemental dental plans up to 60% off, Disneyland, Disney World, SeaWorld, Legoland, Six Flags, 40% off. Discount hotel booking, rental cars, restaurant, travel. You get where I'm going. Benefits too numerous to mention. And if you're over 50, you can join for free today. You can get 1 year free membership. It's on me. Join them today. All you have to do is go to amac.us/Chad. That's amac.us/Chad. Here's the thing. There is no tricks. There are no credit cards required. There is no gimmicks. It's free. Join today. amac.us/Chad or call 888-355-1668. 888-355-1668. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. ChadBenson. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Deep states? No. Deep doo-doo? Yeah. The Chad Benson Show.
You guys remember last week when it comes to boycotts, like, yeah, oh, wow, they gave money to the Republicans. Well, first of all, In-N-Out Burger is a perfect example of how we take boycotts, right? Because they gave some money to Democrats. But the fact is, the family are evangelical Christians. They've always have been. From the founders down. You go to In-N-Out, if you have an In-N-Out Burger near you, and you go there and you turn your cup upside down, it has a Bible verse on there. They don't hide who they are. But even Democrats came out when they said, hey, we should call for a boycott. They gave money. Some people are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Have you had In-N-Out Burger? It's awesome. Right? Right? Have you had that? Oh, it's great. Who's that famous chef? What's his name? Gordon Brown? Is that it? Brown? The last name's Brown? I forget.
Alton Brown?
Glasses. Yeah, Alton Brown. I remember interviewing him a couple of years ago, and I said, so what do you do? Like, what's your, because, you know, you eat all this food. I said, what's your jam? Like, what's your thing? He says, you know, the minute I get off an airplane in the West Coast, no matter where I am, there's an In-N-Out. I get into whatever cars picked me up, and I tell them, take me to an In-N-Out Burger. Right? Like In-N-Out. So people stepped away from that. It's how you see it. I'm reading now that people are burning their Nike stuff. I've never been so angry as to burn something. For some people, though, that's your expression. It's the freedom of it. And as producer Phil said, you're not getting your money back. You're not. You're not getting your money back. But I will tell you, we take these things, it really is, we take these things and we make them so much bigger than they should be at times. People are offended by it. Go ahead, be offended by it. You don't want to buy Nike stuff? Don't want to buy Nike stuff? Don't buy Nike stuff. You're pissed off at In-N-Out Burger and you don't want to eat In-N-Out Burger? Don't eat In-N-Out Burger. That's on, you know, I never tell you what to do or what not to do. But it is funny the way that one went out in flames. And this one's going to be interesting to see what happens. Because the right generally has never been great at the boycott thing. They've never been awesome at the boycott. The left is much better at the boycott thing and scaring people. The right, not so much, because a lot of times the right is right in so many ways of, it's about freedom. So we'll see. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. I just love how everybody backed away from the In-N-Out Burgers thing so fast. No. Even the same thing with Chick-fil-A. No. People are like, yeah, you know what? I like chicken. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. He used to be an actor, but he's got to have, a living. We'll talk about that straight ahead. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent in thoughts and punk rock in life. It's the Chad Benson Show.
Republican or Democrat, no White House would allow every piece of paper that went to and from the president to be made public.
Everybody's getting their 15 minutes of fame. They were 5 minutes, right? Taking pictures of him. It's going to be contentious and angry. There's Judge Kavanaugh. Will he be the next Supreme Court justice? The answer to that question I will answer for you now. Yes, he will be. Yes, he's going to be. The left, it's all about Roe v. Wade. And for some out there who hate the president, it's about the president himself because he feels that no president should be indicted or anybody else working with the president while he's a sitting president, blah, 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 blah.
Jeff Sessions has resisted pressure
from the president to punish his enemies and relieve pressure on his friends. And many of the questions that you will get on the other side of the aisle and from me will be how you view that relationship.
That's a Republican right there. Jeff Flake. Not a fan of the president. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And the other thing is, too, when you look at this stuff, and remember, this is so micro. It's not macro. It's micro. People in D.C., people watch Fox, MSNBC, CNN 24 hours a day. This is, they think about this. The reality is 99% of the world's going on about their day, and this isn't really playing a huge part in what's happening because they don't think that much. I mean, how good portion of people can't even name the three bodies, the three governing bodies, the three equal branches of government. They can't get that right. So we'll see. Again, we'll see. The only reason that the president and cable television news and stuff has gotten the viewership and the page turnings and the likes and the clicks is because of the salaciousness, not because of policy. In fact, the new Bob Woodward book is, salacious. It is. He's got, he talks about there are people there that are aides who are worried that the president is unstable and they're hiding papers from him because they think he's a national security risk. And, that there's all this stuff about Mattis calls him this and Kelly called him an idiot and he said all kinds of horrible things about Sessions. Well, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. This is a bunch of stuff this weekend about Sessions, tweeted about him. But it's all the salaciousness. What if Bob Woodward came out with a book that says, I don't think he's a bad guy. May not agree with him in policy. Talked to a bunch of people. Yeah, everything's okay. And it was just a very benign, boring book. Would you buy that? No, you buy salaciousness. You sell the sizzle, not the steak. Because the sizzle's going to get you through everything you need to get through. Let's remember that. That's what sells. Not the steak itself. The sizzle. Watch a movie trailer. How many times you go see a movie based on a movie trailer? You get there, and a majority of stuff in the movie trailer is not even in the movie itself. Why? Because you're selling the sizzle, not the steak. It may not end up the director's cut, and what they finally decided on, that piece may not go, but it'll get people interested. You're selling the tease, the sizzle. You're not selling the steak itself. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. His name is Jeffrey Owens. You may not know his name, but if you watch The Cosby Show, you will recognize him. He played the son-in-law on The Cosby Show, the kind of dorky, nerdy kid, and he was on there for, 5-6 seasons? And over the weekend and over the past week or so, things have come out about this guy. Why? Has he done something wrong? No, quite the opposite. He's got a regular job.
He played the ever-optimistic Elvin, Cliff and Claire Huxtable's dutiful son-in-law on The Cosby Show, infamous for wearing his emotions on his sleeve. But 26 years after The Cosby Show went off the air, Jeffrey Owens is going viral. All because a woman shopping at Trader Joe's snapped photos of him working at a New Jersey grocery store. Outlets pounced, posting the pictures accompanied by headlines like, Cosby Show actor Jeffrey Owens spotted bagging groceries at New Jersey Trader Joe's.
Yeah, he had fame. He did. That's a long time ago, though. It was a long, long time ago. Fame is a fleeting thing. For a few, they're able to grab a hold of the star and the spotlight and the whole 9 yards, and they're able to go, right? They're able to ride that bull for 8 seconds. But for some, they get a cup of coffee, a taste of it, and then they get on with their real life. He's still in the entertainment business. He teaches. He works at Trader Joe's because it allows him to be flexible, to go out for commercials and things of that nature. Very few people get to feel the kind of fame that he felt. He's still got a bit of a net worth. He's not starving, but he had to get a regular job. And a lot of stars have come out to defend him Because, look, the picture wasn't very flattering anyways. He doesn't look like he used to look. He's a little bit heavier as we all get older. Look, I look at myself in my soccer pictures, if I could find them, I would say, wow, I 30 pounds heavier than I was. I mean, that's just nature. We don't look like we used to look. But they're job shaming him, and I think it's a bunch of crap. I really do. And he's come out and he's talked about it in a way that, you know what? Let me tell you something. If I said to you today, you're going to have 6 to 8 years where you're going to be known. You're going to have a career. And a career to the point where you're signing autographs. You're on a number one sitcom for X amount of years. You're going to be able to maybe make a good living for yourself in that time. And you're going to be okay. And by the way, we talked about this before. For all the stuff when it comes to Cosby, he's still set money-wise. But it's the other people that I felt bad for because they're going to pay the price when it comes to residuals and things of that nature. But he's come out and talked about this.
No one should feel sorry for me, either from a positive or a negative perspective. I've had a great life. I've had a great career. And I've had a career that most actors would really, would die for. So no one has to feel sorry for me. I'm doing fine.
Yeah. He's not starving. He's not broke. He's not. Look, there are so many stories like this. And this guy's got, Terry Crews came out and said, dude, after the NFL, before my acting career, I was sweeping floors. It's like, wow. Yeah. When I've had my little taste of soccer in Europe and stuff, people go, oh, that's great. You know what? I wasn't making any money. I had a regular job when I wasn't playing. Wasn't like I was making a ton of money. It was neat. I wouldn't have traded it for anything. I had a taste of it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Most actors would dream to have this. They would. And you know what? In a weird way, this may actually help him. But it's funny how we react. Because we always think that you see somebody and they become a star, even for a short period of time, and that's it forever. Very few end up like that. I was watching a documentary. I don't know if you saw this, producer Phil. It was about the Quiet Riot documentary when they were going to go back out on the road.
Yeah.
And they were looking for their new lead singer. But they were also talking to other bands, and they had guys that were in bands like Warrant and this, that, and the other. Some of these guys had regular jobs. They were house painters and stuff. And they were talking to guys like, look, I paint houses. Yeah. And then one time I was playing in front of 70,000 people on a consistent basis. My albums were everywhere. Our albums were everywhere. That went away. You go, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I got a regular job. I had to come out of that. And for some people, you can take that now and you can parlay that into a position where you take the money and you invest it wisely and maybe you can continue. But for a lot of other people, it's fleeting. But the fact that he was job shamed over having a regular job.
I mean, I was really devastated, but it lasted. It was the period of devastation was so short because so shortly after that, the responses. My wife and I started to read these responses from literally all over the world of support.
Yeah, Justine Bateman, all of these people have come out and said, you know what, this is a bunch of crap. This is, and the funny thing is, everything is what you make of it, right? Like it's all what you make of it. This guy sounds like he's got a great attitude. He still goes out for stuff. He may get some stuff every now and then. He'll get a commercial. He'll get this, that, and the other. And it's funny. Have you ever seen an actor? There's a commercial out right now. And the dad from 90210 is in the commercial for like 2 seconds. He doesn't even say anything. I said, that's the dad from 90210. It still looks the exact same. And you think to yourself, what happened to a lot of these people? Right? Like they're just regular actors. They're on these shows for a long time. They just, they come and go. I've had a couple friends. One of my people I knew as a kid growing up, played some soccer with. He was on Roseanne. He's no longer with us. And, it comes and it goes like that. And it's neat and it's exciting. But then you think it's going to last forever. And for some, it does. But for many, it doesn't. But he's had a cup of coffee, if you will. Like they say, if you go to the major leagues, he's had more than a cup of coffee. He had a great opportunity, and that's since gone. And 30 years later, you got to earn a living.
Every job is worthwhile and valuable, and if we have a kind of a rethinking about that because of what's happened to me, that would be great.
but it's not over. I remember, what's his name? He played Kelly Leak in the original Bad News Bears. And he was basically out of acting for years. I mean, he was out of acting for years, to the point where somebody saw him and he was delivering pizza, right? So here's a guy delivering pizza. Somebody recognized him and said, hey, I kind of know who you are. I've seen you. And he's like, yeah, I was in this movie. And they're like, oh, wow. Jackie Earl Haley. And because that was a long time ago. And then he got a chance to make a comeback in a movie because somebody saw him and he said, I'm going to try to do something. And he did. And he got a what? He got an Academy Award nomination for it. Right? He played a pedophile, Ronald James McGovern in Little Children. And he was nominated for that. And his life subsequently exploded again as far as that. But he was out of the business for a long time. He said in the 90s and 2000s, I was dormant. I had nothing going on. I was trying to produce some stuff and do some commercials, but nobody was touching me. So who knows what will happen? But the fact that some of these guys get a bite of the cherry that many people won't, and then people feel sorry for them, that's stupid. And the shame people, right? God, what is wrong with us? That's the beauty of social media nowadays. But you never know when lightning may strike twice. Maybe this will be the best thing that's ever happened to him after the Cosby Show because somebody go, hey, you know what? We can use him for that. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Dollar Shave Club. I have shaved today. I got rid of my beard, shaved in a little something else. Looks kind of cool. I like it. Thank you, Dollar Shave Club. Dr. Carver's Shave Butter. Boom. Work like a champ. By the way, I use all of their products, and all of their products or everything you need to look, smell, and feel fantastic. How about this? Conditioner, shampoo? Yeah, they got that. Toothpaste, toothbrush? Yeah, they got that. Beard oil even. They got that. Post-shaving cream? After shaving cream? Before shaving cream? They got everything you need. They got stuff for your face to just feel great. They've got the best hair care products around. My hair looks great. Thank you, Dr. Dollar Shave Clubs. It's awesome. So what are you waiting for? Well, Chad, I've been thinking about it. I'm on the fence. Get off the fence. Become a member today. $5. You're going to get their starter set. Now, you can choose whatever starter set you want. I went to the Amber Lavender Body Cleanser, and it's awesome. But get what you want, right? The razors are amazing. I could talk about it. You have no idea. I had a big beard. It's gone now. It was simple and easy. The 6-blade executive razor cut through it like it wasn't even there. It's amazing. So you join today, $5, free shipping. After that, things will ship to you, normal prices. Check it out. You're not going to be disappointed. DollarShaveClub.com/Chad. DollarShaveClub.com/Chad. It really is amazing what they have. DollarShaveClub.com/Chad. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. ChadBenson. Got your useless fact of the day straight ahead. Chad Benson Show.
Hashtag me too. Hashtag immigration reforms. Hashtag help. I'm trapped in a hashtag factory and I can't get out. The Chad Benson Show.
They're fighting on Capitol Hill today. Again, it's all theatrics. It's all theatrics. The fact is that Judge Kavanaugh will be Supreme Court Justice nominee to Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh. It's going to happen. Period. Case closed. No matter how many things you hear from the left about why are we doing this so fast?
The majority rushed into this hearing and is refusing to even look at the nominee's full record.
You can't. You can't. When they look at the full their whole thing is we need to look at everything. We're rushing into this? Did we not hear one Nancy Pelosi at one time says we got to vote on something so we can read it? Do you think that they all read the omnibus bill? Or Obamacare, or any of the stuff that has hundreds of thousands upon thousands of pages? Do you think they really do it? And somehow I'm supposed to believe that this is the time that they're going to sit there and read every single line? No. This is what politics has become. And this is about the left saying, here's the deal. This seemingly boring, straight-laced guy who you couldn't pick out of a lineup. If he walked into a mall today outside of the Beltway, first of all, he might be the only person in a mall, but secondly, nobody even knows who the hell he is. That somehow this guy is the Antichrist because you have to make the other side's pick, the other side's belief, the monster. And that's what this is about. Period. Case closed. But Orrin Hatch has said it, and I will continue to say it. First of all, this is theatrics. It is Shakespearean. It is no more than that, and it is a formality. In the end, this is going to happen.
Judge Kavanaugh, I'm proud of you. I know how good you are. I know you deserve this position. I'm proud of the president for nominating you. And frankly, I wish you the best because we're going to confirm you.
Yeah, it's going to happen. That sense, that foreboding, right? That sense of, oh, that's happening. I can't believe this is happening. It's happening. You can't stop it. I don't want it. It's happening. You can't stop it. That tsunami of inevitability is happening. He is going to be the next justice. That's just it. Unless they find that he does something horrific that we didn't know about, like he runs an underground dogfighting ring and that, you know, that that somehow he is part of the cartels. This is happening. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Our poll question of the day is this, pretty simple. What do you think of Nike's new ad campaign when it comes to having Colin Kaepernick part of the 30th anniversary celebrating Nike's Just Do It? 17% say love it, 38% say hate it, 45% of you say don't care. Take the poll at Chad Benson Show. You know, the United States of America has a national animal. That is what? The bald eagle. Scotland also has one. Do you know what that is? A unicorn. What? Yeah, we got a unicorn. It's crazy, right? I know, but we like it. Crazy. Scottish are nuts. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. As always, kids, night-night, Jack.
This is the Chad Benson Show.